Let's settle for the details. Interim Minister Ambrose Dery has urged factions in the Boko conflict to use legitimate and judicious means to resolve the conflict than resorting to arms or violence. He noted that Ghana is a country of rule of law that must be respected, and no individual or groups will be allowed to make the country unsafe or ungovernable. Ambrose Dery spoke to Joy News Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam in an exclusive interview on the margins of New Year party held for his constituents in Kokoligu.
Dery spoke on a wide range of issues, starting with the development of the Upper West region and ended with the state of the country's security.
Have we reached the ultimate? No, we haven't done so. That's why I started by saying that we are relatively peaceful, relatively safe, but still moving forward and still being the oasis of peace in this country.
He then zeroed in on the recent conflict in Boko in the Upper East region, which has resulted in curfew being imposed in the area.
It has been settled for decades that the President Bokonaba, the Kusi Bokonaba, is the Bokonaba without dispute, confirmed by a Supreme Court decision, has been the case in the past, and this government has no intentions of disturbing the situation. On the contrary, we are determined to protect the status quo. I'm disturbed when I see anything that's ethnic based. The ethnic groups have existed peacefully over the years, and we do not want any division in the north, or indeed any part of the country along ethnic lines. Mampuchis and Kusasis have coexisted in the Boko area and in other parts of the country, and nothing should be done to disturb that cordial relationship.
Ambrose Dery stated that government has no interest in who becomes the chief of an area, but has unwavering interest in maintaining peace of those areas.
I want to advise all those who want to call themselves youth associations of various organizations to know that this is a state where the rule of law must be respected. We are all equal before the law, and no one is above the law, and nobody will be allowed to take the law into his or her own hands and make this country ungovernable.
He urged all warring factions to use legitimate means to resolve the conflict that resulted into violence.
And I want to say that applies to the rest of the country. If you have a chieftaincy matter, go to the traditional institutions, traditional council, judicial committee of the regional houses of chiefs, national house of chiefs, and from them to the Supreme Court. Let no one think that you can take the law into your hands.
The Interior Minister also used the opportunity to rebut allegations leveled against him on the ceding of lands belonging to Lambuse to Nanda municipality at a press conference held at Lambuse by a group calling themselves Consent Sisala Movement.
All the elevation did was to change the status from district to municipality, maintaining the existing boundaries that have been in the past. There is no iota of truth whatsoever that I'm party or privy or part of any move to take any land. The most ludicrous one is I'm alleged to have been trying to create another district in which there's a northern Nandom district with my village as the capital. I ask all those who have heard the allegation to ignore it with the contempt that it deserves. There is no such scheme or plan on my part to create a district. Not at all. Not at all.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Kokoligu.
28 lives were lost due to road crashes during Christmas festivities. 148 other individuals, meanwhile, suffered various degrees of injuries as a total of 133 accidents occurred between 24th and 26th December. This is data This is data compiled by the Ghana Police Services Motor Traffic and Transport Department. The document reveals that the capital, Accra, experienced the most accidents within the period under review. My colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson joins me with details. Parker, first, the MTTD provides data on accidents prior to Christmas. Please share that with us.
Yes, Mapito. Now, this covers the period between 19 December to 25th December. Now, it tells us that 81 lives were lost in just the 7-day period when this data was put together. Again, 378 persons were injured from a total of 373 accidents. Now, the document further establishes that Accra was the worst hit with 156 reported crashes, followed closely by the Ashanti region with 90 reported cases.
Now, let's talk about the Christmas festivities.
Now, the MTTD tells us that they compiled this data from 24th to 26th December. Now, between that period, 28 lives were lost within that 72-hour window. Again, 148 others were injured. Now, Accra, once again, was the worst hit with 44 reported accident cases, followed closely by Ashanti region with 22 reported cases. So it tells you that the greater Accra being the capital, and of course, Ashanti region, Kumasi, had the highest number of cases.
All right, thank you very much. That's my colleague, Kwesi Parker-Wilson. Now, 2 persons have been killed after a fight broke out at a New Year party last night in Yagaba in the Mamprugu Mudori district of the Northeast region. Police in the area have told Joy News the violence was started by an Apologies for that technical difficulties. Now, 2 persons have been killed after a fight broke out at a New Year party last night in Yagaba in the Mamprugu Mudori district of the Northeast region. Police in the area have told Joy News the violence was started by an alcohol-fueled argument between the youth of Yagaba and Kubori during the party. The police said the argument spiraled out of control, leading to the stabbing to death of a young man from the Yagaba community. Ilyasu Tanko is on Zoom with an update. Ilyasu, what do we know about this incident so far?
There was a party that was held at the New Year Day, and on the 9th of the New Year, and there was an argument, and one person was stabbed to death, and this person happened to be a resident of the Mamprugu, the Yagaba, the district capital, Yagaba, and so that infuriated his friends in the community, who also mobilized and they blocked the road to Kubori, because we understand this young man was allegedly attacked by some residents of Kubori community. And so the Yagaba community members blocked the road to avenge the death of this young man. Unfortunately, they ended up killing another person who we understand is was not from the community of Kubori, but also coming from another community. And that is why that person also was also killed. So as I speak to you now, the 2 persons are currently in the custody of the police.
Now, what about the victims? Have they been buried?
Well, interesting. What we do know is that one person has been buried in line with the tenets of Islam, but the other person, we understand, has been transferred to the Tamale Teaching Hospital, where he is being kept for an autopsy. What we are learning this morning is that the person that have been buried, the police are expecting or have requested that the body be exhumed for an autopsy. And so we understand the police will be going to court to get that request to go back to the community and exhume the body for an autopsy so that they can continue investigation into that. So yes, one person has been buried, but the other is currently at the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
How's the security situation in the area?
Well, there have been a lot of, so to speak, tension within the three communities, the Mamprobo, the Yagaba community, the Kubori community, as well as the Sakala community in that particular area. But the security said they are still patrolling this particular community to avoid any further reprisal. And
the meeting, the DSEC meeting has it commenced, and what can you report?
Yes, the district chief executive has just confirmed to us that they are currently in a DSEC meeting. They are, first of all, trying to discuss how to find the perpetrators and also how to keep peace in the area because of the rising tension as a result of these two deaths. And so, yes, there's an ongoing DSEC meeting to prevent further clashes and maintain peace and order in the district.
All right, thank you very much. That's correspondent Ilyas Tanko giving us an update on that situation. Now, the Ghana Journalists Association is urging the police to do more to find the killers of private investigator Ahmed Swale. Speaking to Joy News on the sidelines of a GJA UNESCO migration training program, President Roland Afiel-Mone said the killing is one of the reasons Ghana continues to drop on press freedom rankings. Ahmed Swale was shot dead 3 years ago near his family home in Accra.
And in certain instances, like the circumstances of Ahmed Swale, we are overly worried that 3 years along the line, nothing has been done to expose, let alone deal of this heinous crime. We were promised by His Excellency the President last year that the perpetrators we found earlier on. There have been other promises to the fact that the police were closing in on the criminals. But as we speak, nobody has been arrested. And this is one causal factor which tends to cause it to slip or decline on the league table of free media systems in Africa and the world. So we expect officialdom, we expect our law and order community to scale up the effort to expose the killers of Ahmed Swale and make them stand trial. And if they are found guilty, they should taste the bitter end of the law.
To other stories now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association has declared it will pass on to the consumer the additional cost that is expected to come for importers with the reversal of reduction in benchmark values, which takes effect tomorrow. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced the reversal in the 2022 budget. Initiated in 2019, the policy was expected to, among others, reduce the cost of importing certain class of goods. But with the policy said to be reversed, vehicles, sugar, spaghetti, palm oil are among some 32 commodities to be affected whose import cost will increase. First, Vice Chairman of GUTA, Clement Boateng, says importers will pass on the extra cost to consumers.
I think, the timing of the reversal of this benchmark value is not right. And we think it is going to have a very, negative impact on businesses. We all know that this reversal, has come about as a result of lobbying of AGI. But we think AGI don't have the capacity, to, produce the things that the benchmark value, has been taken off. And so we think GUTA has an unfinished, business with the government. We will still, continue to, engage government and see what best, could be done. But as you have said, it is going to take effect from tomorrow. So if it takes effect from tomorrow, then consumers, should brace themselves up for, price increase because, no businessman, importer or exporter is Father Christmas, and for every cost that is going to be incurred by an importer or businessman will definitely be passed on to the consumer. So if it takes effect from tomorrow, consumers should brace themselves up for price increment. But we think, like I told you, we still have an unfinished business with government. We will still continue to engage government and see, how possible best, this benchmark, reversal, could be, changed.
Guta has also been accusing the Association of Ghana Industries of lobbying government to reverse the policy. Clement Boateng contends that the AGI does not have the capacity to produce the items which will be affected under this policy.
If you look at, our total, metric tons of rice that the country is supposed to have, which is about 800,000, and we are just, those who are producing it are in the range of 300 to 400,000. Then that shortfall, where do we get it from? We still have to, import it, and if we have to import it, and then you have, reverse, this, benchmark reduction, then definitely prices, is going to be up. So we think, government must take a second look. Government, should not be pushed to the wall, or should not be lobbied by those who are seeking their own self-interest. But governments must look at the totality of the Ghanaians and the purchasing power of the Ghanaians. That is the bottom line. It is not about somebody's interest. If the person has got the capacity to produce, what is the point in sitting in a plane, traveling so many kilometers away, renting a hotel, and then incur those costs there if I can get the product in Ghana here? But this is the situation is that they don't have the capacity, to produce now. So it should be a gradual process, but not, a short-term, policy that within the shortest possible time, government says we are reversing the benchmark value. I don't think it's right, and governments must take a second look at it.
Parts, Executive Director of the Ghana Importers and Exporters Association, Samson Asaki, has berated government for reversing the policy. He also claimed the reversal was not properly thought through, as he urges governments to halt implementation and further engage stakeholders.
We think that it's not the right time. Look at the economic situations of ordinary Ghanaians, their financial status, vis-a-vis if they say government is the largest employer. Or the private sector, how many within the 2019-2020, 2021, how many Ghanaians have gotten jobs and getting good pay? I strongly believe that it's not the right time. Look at the cost of living in the country now. And as my colleague just said, what are the capacity that we have on those commodities that the benchmark value should be reversed come tomorrow? What is going to happen is that our friends from the AGI don't have the capacity, to the best of my knowledge. They are not, even if they have their factory sitting there, they don't have they are not producing up to optimum, and they know that it's not about the benchmark values that is making them not producing up to optimum. It's as a result of the cost of borrowing in this country. It's as a result of the cost of utility tariff in this country. And so they knowing very well. And as I said, very soon, AGI will be exposed. They will be exposed by the African Continental Free Trade. That is coming on board very soon, where we have people in South Africa, Kenya, and the rest are borrowing at a lower rate, are using lower utility tariff, can produce up to optimum, and they are going to bring their product into this country as well and sell, and we will take it there.
Items to be affected include crude and refined oils, finished aluminium products, as well as toilet, facial tissue and towels, biscuits, pharmaceutical products, others including chocolate products, clinker, cement, mosquito coils, ceramic tiles, agricultural inputs such as machetes, fruit juices, tomato paste, selected soap and detergent products, lubricants, alcoholic and carbonated drinks and beverages were also affected. This is still Joy News Today with me, Mapito CBD. And other stories, the Multimedia Group has opened a book of condolence for the late general manager of the Joy brands, Elvis Kwashi. Elvis died Tuesday after a short illness. The book of condolence is opened to everyone who comes to the premise of Joy FM to honor the memory of the man, Elvis Koku Kwashi. We're going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more. Thank you for staying with us. Now, Bantamahini Bafo Owusu Amankwatia is pleading with governments to turn his attention towards the developmental needs of the Ashanti region in 2022. He says Kumasi, the second largest city in Ghana, is gradually turning into a village. The chief wants the government to at least construct one flyover and complete 5 stalled hospital projects to ease congestion at the Komfonochi Teaching Hospital. He was speaking to the media in Kumasi. Love FM's Erastus Donko has more.
I want to thank His Majesty Otumfuo Setutu for providing effective leadership for Ashanti.
There is a general narrative that Ashanti region has not benefited from its fair share of development as the stronghold of the ruling government and the second largest city in Ghana. Government this year initiated the construction of Kumasi's inner city roads, many of which have stalled. Bantamahini Bafo Amankwatia says it should be government's priority to at least construct one flyover to boost the image of the city.
When you look at the development in Kumasi, especially our roads, now we will say that the government has started, trying to, sort out the inner roads. But then what the problem really is the sort of traffic jam that we experience in Kumasi. Until the government decides to build overheads for this city, it will be very difficult for us to get over with this traffic jam that we've been experiencing.
Ashanti region has 5 hospital projects at various stages of completion at Sewa, Aferi, Fomena, Konongo and Kumau. Bantamahini wants government to make them operational.
Komfonochi, apart from dealing with major cases, is also saddled with minor cases because there are not enough hospitals in the Ashanti region. Because of this, I want to plead with the government that we have Konongo Government Hospital, we have Sewa Government Hospital, we have Aferi, and then we have Fomena, and then Kumau. They've all not been completed. Some people are saying they've been abandoned. Fine, whatever it is, I want to appeal to the government that the way things are going, the only way out to help with the health situation in the Ashanti region, and especially the northern part of Ghana, is to make sure that all these hospitals, are made operational. When this thing happens, it means that the pressure on Komfonochi is going to go down.
He also tasked the new mayor of Kumasi to move traders to vacant markets to decongest the city center.
We have empty spaces in our markets that can house all these people selling on the streets. I think the issue is enforcement. People need to be told that we don't sell on the streets. We are telling the chief executive to try and make sure that he deals with this menace. I believe it's turning Kumasi into something else.
Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
And back here in Accra, police say they have arrested a man captured in a viral video discharging several rounds of gunshots at the ANC Mall at East Legon in Accra on 31st night. His identity has been revealed as a Flight Lieutenant Sergeant Nicholas Owusu Frimpong and was arrested with a collaboration between the Ghana Police Service and the military police. My colleague Kweku Asante joins me with a copy of the statement. Kweku, did the police say how they went about this arrest?
Hello. Hello.
All right, so Kweku Asante, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself.
So the police, together with the military police, conducted an operation that led to the arrest of Flight Sergeant Nicholas Owusu-Pimpong, who we just saw in that video discharging those firearms at the ANC mall. And so the police said they conducted some investigations. We know that they placed a 5,000 cedis bounty on his head for any person who is available to provide that kind of information. And so the suspect is currently in detention at the military. Yeah.
And where is the suspect being currently kept?
Yeah. So the suspect is currently being held by the military police.
Okay.
Not the police, but the military police. And so I understand you have Superintendent Alexander Obin. Maybe he has some explanation for that.
All right. Now let's speak to Police Public Affairs Director Superintendent Alex Obing. So good afternoon. Now, were you able to confirm the identity of the suspect as a military man?
Our stakeholders, those we appeal to for support for identifying who carried out that information or the incident at the ANC on Friday, and through a collaborative effort with the general public, being able to identify and with support of the military police be able to also arrest the suspect. And we have identified him as Flight Sergeant Pimpong, and he's in military custody going through investigation. We took time and capitalized on this opportunity to admonish the general public that the use of arms and ammunition for firearms is controlled in the interest of public health and safety, and therefore those who are permitted to have access to must use it with great decorum and caution, and those who don't have the permission should refrain from getting close. In this, we will be protecting lives and property, and be enhancing the safety of the general public and our environment.
All right, Superintendent, do you know why exactly he discharged those firearms the way he did?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, Superintendent, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Come
on. Yeah. So do you know exactly why he discharged those firearms the way he did?
And the reason why investigation is progressing, and we allow the investigation to be extracted to come out of the how, where, how, when, and all that. So let's allow the investigator to proceed.
And why is he being detained by the military and not the police?
Well, he's a police officer, he's a military officer, and in collaboration with them, we'll be able to execute this task. And we also have the mandate to proceed. And so that is exactly where we are heading to for now.
All right, thank you very much. That is Superintendent Alex Obing giving us an update on that story. Now let's go to Kumase, where hundreds of families will climax this year's holidays at the plush Battery Park, where the fun-filled Frital Love Affair family party in the park is being held. The event, filled with games, arts, crafts and dancing sessions for children and their parents, has already gathered momentum. Meant to foster and renew family bonds, the Frital Love and Family Party in the Park offers patrons the opportunity to make new friends. Nanayao is live on the ground and joins us. Nanayao, I spoke to you earlier around 10 o'clock. How is it right now?
So the numbers continue to soar here at the Battery Park. As you can see in your shot, some of the young ones are trying to get the opportunity to experience the bouncing number of them, a lot of children continue to come in with their families to experience the Love FM family party in the park. So this is one section of the fun park. There are other sections, as I showed earlier. You have the electric train, we have the trampoline, we have a grounded aircraft of the Ghana Air Force, and it's one of the centers of attraction here at the Ratchet Park. A lot of the children going in there to have a feel of it, especially those who have not been in an aeroplane before. So it's very exciting atmosphere here at the family party in the park at Ratchet Park. I'm taking you to another side of this fun park, and we have some of the children trying to get their faces painted to enjoy this particular event here at Ratchet Park. So there is it. Some of the children getting their faces painted. Everyone has a choice. Some are doing Batman. Some will come in with weird names and weird stuff they would want to look like. So that is it.
And Nanayao, have you had a taste of the jollof? Nanayao?
Yes, they are still setting up.
Okay.
The families. Yes, Papito.
Yeah.
So not yet. They are still setting up. As you can see, the fried sauce stand is there. Now it's done. The setup is done. We are waiting for families to come in and register. At the moment, the families are having a dance competition at the main event ground. So after the dance competition is done, the families will come here and we have the jollof competition, and that is the moment I've been waiting for.
Hey.
I want to be one of the judges for this particular for that competition. I want to taste every food, eat every chicken here, and climax the holidays with a very good. And I'll be to the family section where the tents are, the families are gathered. And interestingly, when you get there, all the families would want to invite you over to have a taste of their food. So today, I don't know where or how I'm going to store all the food that I'm going to eat here, but we have very good food, drinks, and everything here. And it's getting very exciting in here. We are hearing that there are a number of families still on their way. There's a lot of traffic to this town, to this side of town, because everybody wants to bring the family to the family party in the park. But no matter how huge the traffic is, trust me, you get access into this place, get a very good parking space, and get to enjoy and have fun with the family. So it's very exciting here, Mapito.
All right, thank you so much, Nana Aljama. I'll try and take the 3 o'clock flight to Kumasi so I can join you in that jollof tasting competition. On that note, I'm going to take a break for business.
Hi there, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has challenged its members to up their game and take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area as it gathers steam in 2022. The Chamber says industries are already losing out due to the impact of COVID-19, but can make some gains when the AFTA platform is fully utilized. First Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce, Victoria Haja, disclosed this to Joy Business at an end-of-year open forum and networking by the Tema Regional Branch of the Chamber.
Despite the slow start, AFTA is considered one giant step, creating the world's largest unified market with a combined GDP of more than $3 billion and a population of over 1.3 billion people. According to Victoria Haja, 2021 has been very challenging as businesses struggle due to the pandemic.
You know, the challenges, it affected us in one form or the other. Their participation was good, could have been better. Then also with the African Continental Free Trade Area, which we are all very excited about, because it hadn't fully taken off, and for the fact that 35% of our revenue base had also, been netted off. We had 65% to do all the things we were supposed to be doing, that is to protect and to help our businesses.
Tema Regional Vice Chair of Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Cosmos Bonzi, sees capacity building and getting members on track extremely important in 2022.
So come 2022, we are going to continue with our advocacy and then our capacity building. Capacity building, we are looking at management. We are looking at bookkeeping. We are looking at customer service. We are looking at e-commerce or marketing or digital marketing, because things are changing and businesses should change and change the way we do our businesses. So that is the focus for 2022.
For Francisca Engman of Shuttle Logistics, the chamber has a lot to offer, but members have to play their role through networking.
So let's say there are a lot of consultants over here, some are into auditing, taxation and everything. And for my company, Shuttle Logistics Limited, we can get a consultant when we need one. So if we want our books to be audited, we wouldn't need to go outside to get an auditor. We can actually get an auditor from here. In that way, we are helping build the capacity of the chamber as a whole and using members for the services that we need.
Now, banana production is thriving in Northern District of the Volta region despite challenges faced with the weather and cost of production. An agronomist is asking government to extend subsidies in fertilizers to bigger corporations like Musa Hamad Farms Limited so they can employ more people on their farms. Ivy Setoji has more in the following report.
Banana agronomist Mr. Yao Ankra Brudu has asked government to give bigger corporations and farms some incentives to help them also employ more people on their farms. Mr. Ankara Brudu gave the advice in an interview with Joy Business at the Musa Hamad Farms Limited, a banana farm in Aveime Battle in the Northern District. Mr. Brudu noted that with the help of government in terms of agricultural interventions, millions of unemployed youth will be able to have jobs.
Fertilizer is 70% of our cost of production. It occupies 70% of our cost of production. If it could be subsidized in a way and some other enabling environment in terms of power and everything is created, it is the expansion for a potential like a banana farm will be rapid, and more people, as I said, remember, an hectare can employ minimum 1.2 people.
On female employees, Mr. Budu noted that 70 out of the 230 employees at the Musa Hamad Farms are female and have proven to be very hardworking and more reliable.
Recent events have shown us that the women employees that we have are the most reliable. They do from the field work, that's the conventional field work that we thought was only culture for men. They do those ones and consistently at work to support.
On soil fertility for banana, Mr. Bodu noted that Northern District has the most suitable soil for banana farming.
And I'll be back with the latest business stories at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Muftau is up next with sports.
Former Black Stars defender Samuel Kufuor has described CAF's decision to approve late arrival of players for AFCON 2021 preparations as disrespect to the competition. According to him, the continent's football governing body lacks regard for its own tournament, and the decision is a testament.
I think it was a wrong approach from CAF, in my opinion. Everybody has opinion. Everybody is entitled to speak whatever he wants to say or she wants to say. But for me, I think it's a totally disrespect to most of the African nations, because in Europe, where there's a rules and regulation, they will not abuse it. So why are they doing this to our tournament? And for us, as an African, this is a wake up for us, and everybody just really love to see this tournament. So if a journalist from Europe asks, why is the player going to African Cup of Nations, I think it's totally disrespect. They have to also respect our opinion and respect our tournament, because you cannot say this to a South American tournament. Yeah. Why are you saying this to us? For me, I think it's totally disrespect. 5 days to the tournament and you are releasing the players. What the coach has a plan for his team. And if they give them 3 weeks, then there will be a preparation. If we want a better quality tournament, we shouldn't be hiding from the truth. We cannot just hide from the truth, because you need to give the players the time to rest and to come into the tournament, because they are playing with their heart. And anything can happen. We saw what happened in Nigeria. Yeah. A player just fall down and died. Exactly. From what? It's all about pressure. It's about pressure, game after game, game after game. When you're just playing 10 January and the tournament started on the 9th, yeah, you travel back to your base, and how many days do you have to prepare with your team? Exactly. So it's a problem for me. And I think CAF needs to do something about it next time around, because now it's already gone. But next time, the respect, they have to give it to the nation. Every nation is qualified to have their respect for himself.
All right, and that's where we draw the curtains on Joy News today. For more news, you know where to go, myjoyonline.com. My name is Mapito CBD. Up next is The Marketplace.